Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, in recent time, Mark Golding has been coming under attack, racial attack by the Jamaica Labour Party. Everyone has made some really inflammatory statements that I think is degrading and disgusting. And of course, we denounce that altogether. Now it says here on Nationwide, Abrahams condemns racial charge rhetoric and suggests that PMP should apologize for Seaga attacks. Human rights advocate Dr. Michael Abrahams agrees that the People's National Party should consider a public apology for the racial abuse that was directed at former Prime Minister Edward Seaga during the period of 1970s. Really? When Seaga called, the amount of racial slur with Seaga called black people. This Abrahams made the call while condemning recent racial charge attacks against the PMP president Mark Golding by government members of parliament Everett Warmington and Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, Dana Davy, and you will never see those apologies, I can tell you that, because they are not of any good character and standing. You'll never see an apology from Everett Warmington or Juliet Cuthbert. You'll never see it. But let's listen to this.
Dr. Michael Abraham says what was done to Edward Seaga was wrong.
No, what happened with Edward Seaga was wrong. It wasn't just wrong. The thing about Edward Seaga is that not only was he was just a light-skinned man. Edward Seaga did a lot for this country, more than a lot of black people have ever done. He went into things like revivalism and...
Brother, you know, say, your brother pissed me off already. What matter?
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
Him do what? Hold on, let me listen that again. What am I say?
With Edward Seaga it was wrong. It wasn't just wrong. The thing about Edward Seaga is that not only was he was just a light-skinned man. Edward Seaga did a lot for this country, more than a lot of black people have ever done. He went into things like revivalism and stuff.
He did a lot for this country more than black people has ever done. Brother, you want a box in your face for even utter that out of your mouth. Edward Seaga do more for Jamaica than Marcus Garvey. Edward Seaga do... Yo, how would you idiot this man? How this? How your name? Michael Abrahams. You want... I really... The man... What am I say? This man... What am I say? You want to talk about what? Revivalism? Poco? Obia? And that you tell me say Seaga do for the country? More than black people? Hey, yo. Whose mans is this?
Hey, whose mans is this?
Normally, no, but what really are going on, sir? Right now, me reach a halfway tree, I don't know which direction to go. I stuck him and have me stuck away in the sea a while ago, you know. Me can't get over it, you know. Me backside, me hear more.
Romania, and he defended as an artist couple, and he defended the man's work, and a lot of black Jamaicans would not do what Edward Seaga did. Edward Seaga did a lot for our culture, our music. So it was egregious what the PMP did.
Culture, our music. And what exactly did the PMP do? What exactly did the PMP do? Make we hear.
Them in the behind now. Them have to deal with that.
The popular obstetrician says now would be a good time for the PNP to apologize for the way Mr. Seaga was treated. He says both sides of the political divide should demonstrate that race-based...
What? How was Edward Seaga treated? How? You don't know what kind of dark rumors there for Edward Seaga name? Shower passing on them something there. I which madman? This someone that say my human rights activist. Hold on, you know what say? Let me go up here, so hold on me. Him as a human rights advocate. So want to human rights them when Edward Seaga violating in Jamaica. Want to when he call the honorable, right? PJ Patterson, black scandal bag. What must say? Edward Seaga was no innocent person. Edward Seaga was an agitator, an agitant, an irritant. You know that itch there where you can't seem to get away from? That was Edward Seaga. And this person don't know the history of the CIA insurgents in a Jamaican politics. And Edward Seaga was a big part of that. What is somebody talk about Edward Seaga the whole for the culture? The whole for what? Edward Seaga don't do one goddamn thing for Jamaica. I'm a stand on that. I must blur it now, man. What am I talking about, man?
Attacks are wrong.
It is. Either way it is. And I agree what you said. I think they should. And I'm not sure if they ever had at any point in history, but if they've never done that, this would be a good time. I think they really should, because it has no place, and it was an insult to the man, seeing what the man did. A lot of younger Jamaicans are unaware of his legacy and what he did for this country.
Which legacy, brother? A Poco Church alone me hear you talk about a revivalist. And I talk about music and culture. Which legacy? Edward Seaga legacy is terrible. It's just that Andrew Honest one worse than Fee, and him one prodigy of Edward Seaga. Like father, like son. Me do one video about that already. But it's someone not easy.
But that was wrong. But two wrongs don't make a right. Just because that was done doesn't mean you have the right now, today, to denigrate somebody based on their skin color. You want to go after Mark Golding for other things? Sure. There are many other things. But this
brother, yo, I wish you eat that this man.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
Stop lying.
Brother.
Stop lying.
Just stop, brother.
Stop.
Did you say? Hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
based on
which many things they can go after Mark Golding for. Remember me tell them I want to name them. Me would have challenge him as a reporter to name 5 things what Mark Golding do that affect this country in our negative way. 5. As a matter of fact, just give me 2. What is somebody talk about?
just because that was done doesn't mean you have the right now, today, to denigrate somebody based on their skin color. You want to go after Mark Golding for other things? Sure, there are many other things. But
which many other things? Yo, the brother you trigger me. You can't just say them something there. Which many other things they can go after? Where's the evidence of these other things? Zane? Which many other things?
I think you see young people are watching this.
But despite acknowledging that former Prime Minister Seaga was treated poorly, Abrahams says the recent attacks by Warmington and Cuthbert Flynn call into question their suitability for representational politics.
Ever Warmington and Juliet Cuthbert Flynn are disgraced. I don't think they should be in representational politics.
That are the only thing we may agree with. Based off what you just say a while ago, another whole spill here. That are the only thing we agree with.
That kind of rhetoric has no place in our politics today. We shouldn't even be talking about it. If you want to, and I know that politics is a blood sport, and you have to have thick skin in order to really survive. There are many things that Mark Golding and the PNP can be called out for. A lot of things.
But what is that, sir? Which many things? You just say that. Patrick, what you deal with? Mash up Jamal, Seaga mash up Jamal. Self-reliance and run with the Cuban doctor them. Brother, I be a destruction Seaga cause pan Jamaica in terms of the country moving forward with strength. Many things. Vernal Henry, big up yourself in my general. No, I know what Mark Golding do, which many things. This present government has constructed with Mark Golding, the team with him are put together. When have they been in office? What blemishes on their name in terms of them operating and running a country? Where? Which many things? This man, say, I'm glad me I clip this up. Me I put up on blast, Cause I be a foolish to say attack, But Mark Golding. Talk the truth, better when I like liar, Me not like liar.
All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way know why they take it the wrong way.
Many things me rot it.
To use his skin color against him is egregious, and it not only is it unfair, it's totally baseless and irrational. The comments from Mr. Warmington and Juliet Cuthbert, they make no sense.
Abrahams is demanding that the leadership of the Jamaica Labour Party condemn the comments. Dana Davey for Nationwide News.
Two things that we may agree with. They're not fit for politics and leadership representation, and the leader for the party for publicly call them out and denounce them type of rhetoric there. That are the two things when we agree with it. Everything else are foolish attack.
No, what happened with Edward Seaga was, it was wrong. It wasn't just wrong. The thing about Edward...
I don't even want to hear back you again, yeah, man. I don't even want to hear back you again. See? Yeah, I mean, what kind of style that? Yo, boy. Yo, Jano, bro. There was a clip where them talk about the situation here. More fine. You understand? And it just come to my mind a while ago, you know. And it just slipped me, you know. Hold on there, when I get a call. We are going with General. They're on the live now.
Oh, that said the lines would be open.
Yeah, man, you just make you know some live.
Okay.
But at the topic we're going to talk about, you're going to talk about?
Yeah, I'm open for any topic.
Well, me just listen to one individual talk about the recent comments from Everett Warmington and Juliet Cuthbert in regards to Mark Golding's background,
ethnicity,
him lineage. Yeah. And he must say this present, we can talk about the past PMP in terms of many things we can criticize them both. But this present stack of PMP where they there. Remember say whole party mash up, you know. And it's a resurgence. So just one or two people in a PMP right now where you can say they're a long time. And whole heap of new people. So me I said this new PMP where they're there right now. What atrocities have they committed? For that man said there's many things they can talk about the PMP.
Well, actually, I can tell you about the atrocities that they have committed.
Well, me know say you have said that, so let me hear what you say.
Alright, so the first thing is that there are new faces, but the PNP isn't new. So that's the first thing to clarify.
But that the premise,
no.
that premise they're not good. Because we are
going I can justify that premise.
I'm going to tell you, I disagree with you. That premise is not
good. I don't mind.
The premise is not good because the individuals me I talk about, the people them that is there. What have they done? They were never in government. That is like me saying the UIC is this and the UIC is that. We never did in a government before. We never did control the purse. But go ahead still. Go ahead.
And I can support my argument. So there are no new faces. The PNP isn't new. It's the 80-year-old machinery that was created by the colonizers. The same mentality exists. But the people are new, as you have said. And they have joined a movement that they didn't the national interest. And that makes them culpable. We see Lisa Hanna trying to straddle the line the other day. Alright? And that doesn't make her any less culpable. Because as the president said in his rebuttal, when she found out that the movement that she's a part of, the party that she's a part of, is detrimental to the national interest, did she walk away? Or did she try to fix it? No. They all stayed because it provided them personal benefit. And they are now guilty by association and participation. Okay? What's this young guy in Westworld again? St. James, sorry. Can't remember his name. Not Andre Hunt. He came out and talked a lot of stuff about what the PNP has done. He recognized that they recognize how detrimental it has been to the national interest. And he went back to represent them. He even said, probably go join the UIC, but he went back to represent the PNP. Lisa Hanna the same thing. When she had trouble in saying, and her people said, hey, you should join the UIC. The UIC is good for Jamaica. She ignored that. Same thing for Damian Crawford. So they all are guilty by association. So if you see someone commit a crime and you stand and do nothing, you are just as guilty. That's my premise.
I understand what you say, but it don't connect with the situation, brother. There's two major political parties, and if an individual before the UIC, and if an individual decides that they want to make some real changes, right, and make them impact to change things, them are gonna either get involved with one of the political party them. Seeing? And there's a lesser of two evils where that is concerned. Boy, your background nice bad, brother. You have got mute.
No. Wait.
Mute your side. Your background nice bad. I can't even hear myself. You must can't hear me same way when I mute. So me I say, right, you look like your signal gone now. You still there? You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, Bolo.
Alright, mute yourself. Guy background is low.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, man, just mute yourself. Respect. So I'm saying that premise there would have work out if the individuals them that is presently in the party was guilty of the past atrocities. That's like saying your great grandfather did do this and you are guilty of what he did. What can go so? You understand what I deal with? You have to put the merit. You have to put the merit on the individual.
I understand your point, but let's.
Zine, it's like you use the past sins them of previous individuals that was a part of the party. Pan the people when they know.
No, that is a flawed argument, Bolo, and here's why it's flawed. Why would we look at the Europeans and say, hey, we deserve reparations? Because we recognize that the system of colonialism still exists and that we weren't justly compensated for the exploitation. And it's the same thing that exists. The PNP, as part of the colonizing process,
right.
For example, PNP has lied to us, PNP has lied to us about our so-called independence. And I've not heard any one of the new crop of quote-unquote career politicians say, independence was a lie. They all tore the line. You understand? They all tore the line, and that's another topic.
So you assume, say, they have the knowledge that you have?
Yes. They studied political science, didn't they? They have seen the constitution, they have seen the functions of the houses of representatives, so they would have been aware because they would have been briefed. Alright, and we hear people like Lisa Hanna say, oh, when I get to parliament and I was told not to do this and to do that, I realized that this was wrong, but I had to go along. Alright?
Oh, she said that?
That doesn't. Check the video that she posted. Alright? So that is a flawed argument. So until there's a fundamental
I don't agree. I really don't. I don't agree that is a flawed argument. I really don't. I understand what you say about the party itself and the fact that the people back in the day it set it in a certain way.
But that setting is still there, Bolo.
No, I'm
that
saying
setting is still there.
I understand that. But even with that, brother, individuals that are there that have right intention can make certain changes, even within that same system. You feel me?
They can't. They get silenced. That's why Bruce Golding went back to the JLP after he went to the NDM. Because he realized that he couldn't change the system. Because it's big money, it's special interest money that runs politics. And that is why the UIC is kept silent.
So with that, as you are saying it is so, right? What does that mean for the UIC then? How is the UIC going to affect change in Jamaica if that is the case?
Simple. Our plan is to educate the nation little by little as best as we can until we have a mass awakening, and that is happening as we speak. Alright?
Yeah.
We have to recognize that
Go ahead, sorry.
that our system.
Go ahead.
We have to recognize that our system is broken. And look at the NEPA issue, where it's a public distress and an agency of the government
Right.
that is supposed to protect the people
Yes.
is crafted a secret agreement that is so horrendous that the chairman had to resign when it became public.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That would not be possible if the system of governance wasn't trying to protect big interest, special interest money, protect the PSOJ oligarchs, the rich people who own
I
things.
totally agree with that.
Right. So those present crops of politicians, if you notice on the JLP side, they are all toeing the line. The PNP side is making noise because they're seeking power, so they're agitating. And I can understand that. That's how the gamesmanship work in the whole system. Okay? But the JLP have all kept quiet. As a matter of fact, they see it as a non-issue. So they have not voiced any concerns, so they are guilty. Alright? And when you go back to the PNP era, you have several things that you could dredge up that their people behaved in a similar way. So, again, we can't absolve them.
I want thing I know still enough. Everybody have something to say about everybody, you know. I saw the politics there. I saw the politics there.
Yes, man. Everybody has something to say. Why?
I will have a better argument at the end of the day.
No. And that is the flaw. It's about argument and who makes the loudest noise. That is why the UIC wants to change it. So that way, it becomes issues that are highlighted, not the noise which is distracting. So under PNP government, this NEPA issue wouldn't have been a private issue negotiated between the agency, because the UIC believes that there is no secret that the government should hold from its people.
So
this matter would have been a public.
Your argument is that under the PNP, the same thing would have happened with NEPA?
Of course, the same thing would have happened, because the PSOJ backed both sides of the fence, both sides of the argument. If you go back and look at campaign finances in the last general election, you realize that all of the PSOJ members that support the parties, well, let me not say all the members, I will say the PSOJ, the majority of PSOJ members who supported the political establishment backed both sides. Those who are willing to declare it.
If you have that disposition, I understand, but I just not agree. Because you have to actually see it first before you can say. Mark Golding would be a leader, and the same thing will happen with Angie Oles, and the same thing will happen with him, the inner power. I cannot see that. I cannot genuinely say that will happen. Me can't. I'm not being honest if I say that. Me personally, I wouldn't be honest saying that. I can't say that. I wouldn't say that.
I understand your position, but I understand your position. Let's look at it this way. He who pays the piper calls the tune, right? And again, the PSOJ backs both parties equally. Now,
no, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. The PSOJ, listen, man. Well, on general, the PSOJ has backed the JLP more than the PNP over the years. The JLP has always had more support from the PSOJ. I'm not saying that the PNP don't get support, you know, but the JLP has advanced the agenda of the PSOJ more under the JLP than they have under the PNP. And you can look at the history and see that. In my opinion,
I have looked at the history, and I disagree with you. And here's what the history showed me. First thing I looked at is the campaign financing reporting that showed that fact. And anybody who wants to get each campaign financing report that was made public. Yeah. Also, when you look at the massive transfer
the campaign financing
to the private sector under the PNP,
the money where them give them for
yes.
finance.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. Go ahead.
Then we look at the massive transfer wealth to the private sector under the PNP. We call that FinSac, and they had other issues. Sorry, and under the JLP, when we do under loans, etc. What there might be 10
break
companies
up bad.
giving to
Break
one
up bad.
and
Is it
5
just
companies.
me? Is it just me or is he breaking up, guys? Look like you're in a bad area. Break up bad.
Yeah, man, I'm in the country as usual.
Oh, okay.
But they are the country as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there might be 10 companies giving to one and 5 to the other. But rest assured, they give equal financial backing.
Right, okay.
You follow? It adds up.
Well, the equal financial backing, I will not argue, but I'm saying the JLP historically has advanced the agenda of the PSOJ oligarchs further and more than the PNP, brother. It is not equal.
No, both of them do. Is the modern reporting why the information is more. But check the history. But let me not belabor that part. Let's continue the other part that I'm sharing. When you look at the history of the support and the fact that the government has always, not one administration, but the government as a whole, has always worked in the interest of private sector. That anecdotal evidence is why I'm able to say that it would have still happened under a PNP administration. We keep forgetting that.
You mean the NEPA situation?
Yes.
No, man.
I understand. I understand
working with private sector, brother. But the reason, listen, you see the NEPA situation. First of all, under Mark Golding administration, I don't see under the PMP's office they might have 19 different groups. What on the general? 19 different groups will operate under the Prime Minister's office. I don't see that happening. This is a man. This is about Andrew Honest more than anything else. This is about one individual that operates on a certain type of way. You get what I say? And that's what I'm saying. No, I am not going to use the PNP and the JLP argument for just put one broad brush and say this individual are going to come to operate just like Andrew Honest. I don't see that happen, brother. I don't see that happening. And let's be honest. That can't stop.
So you know what I'm saying, no, Bolo? We're missing a fundamental piece.
Yeah.
Right? People have a problem with Andrew Holness, but they believe that it's an Andrew Holness problem. If the system didn't allow Andrew Holness to behave like that, he couldn't. Yes, he has 19 executive agencies under his portfolio. Right? Because the system allows him to do that. So any leader, whether JLP or PNP, can. That won't happen under the UIC because the UIC recognizes that as a flaw and intends to change it from day one. That is the point I'm making.
I'm going to be how you call it now? What? A journalist right now. How can the people be certain of that?
Simple. In 2019, when the UIC was formed, we presented a manifesto, and this manifesto outlined several changes, including a complete overhaul of our constitution to give more not administrative, but more legislative power to the people. So they are choosing their leaders, they are choosing how the leaders work, and they are getting a constitution that tells, one, the government how to operate on behalf of the people, and two, what not to do to the people. When that became popular in 2023, and as a matter of fact, moments before it became a popular topic, Andrew Holness had said that he doesn't see Jamaica becoming a republic.
I remember that.
Right. But when the UIC pushed it, all of a sudden you hear that they have taken steps to make Jamaica a republic.
Take the idea, man.
Here you go. And the PNP did not say, oh, Jamaica will become a republic and the rest. As a matter of fact, they questioned the process. And they have sat in parliament and supported the process. They have only asked for more inclusion in the process. The UIC has said that this process is flawed to have what do you call it? A president that is a figurehead.
No. Inclusion is not just inclusion. I have heard arguments against the process. I have heard arguments from Mark Golding that if you are going to do this, you have to do it the right way. That's what I've heard from Mark Golding. Literally.
Yes, but what he walked out of parliament for was to be included in the decision-making process.
Well, you have to understand, sir.
I know you
understand this. Yeah, but I know you understand this. The Jamaica Labour Party, well, the Jamaica Lawless Party, as I call them, is operating as a dictatorship because them have majority right? Them seem to want to omit the opposition included in certain things. So I don't disagree with Mark Golding walking out of that. It means rightfully that they are the opposition. They are supposed to be defending the best interests of the citizens of Jamaica and an inclusive.
And I'm not making an argument for the JLP or the PNB. Now, what I'm pointing out is that they have all stopped short of demanding the full rights of the citizens of Jamaica, was something that we have never had.
Well, I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Let's go further into this constitutional argument and the certainty that the UIC can provide of its behavioral change when it is in government.
But at that, no.
The UIC,
you know, as a journalist, you know. Because hold on now.
Right,
even the president of the UIC, because I had a conversation with him as well. No, even he admitted on many occasions that the UIC can win the election, and we are human beings. We might tell you all of these things that in the manifesto, and when we get in a power, we flip the script. This is a possibility.
No. Joseph L. Patterson has never said that. But
General,
I get what you're saying.
Tell me, no,
but here's the problem.
I have the clip. Me and the man sitting and talk. The man say, admittedly,
right.
You are taking a risk voting for anybody at all because we're human beings, right? And we may well get into power and flip the script.
But he didn't say he was gonna do that. That's
no. He never said he was gonna do it. I'm giving him credit enough to say that he was honest enough to say we is a possibility. We are human being. That I give him props to that because that was an honest statement.
Right, and what he was alluding to is the fact that in any system there is a risk. But here it is.
Thank you.
That UIC has produced a manifesto, a pledge to the people that we hold dear, that has been created since 2019, and the main pointers have remained consistent as to what we intend to do. And we have always declared that a vote for the UIC is a vote for this manifesto, for this system of change that we have proposed.
Right.
We have even given it a name. It's called a non-partisan constitutional republic.
Right.
That will level the playing field of representation in Jamaica, remove special interest totally, which is why we have been kept to the side, in the shadows. You have said that the opposition is being blocked. UIC is being blocked too because even things that we as a registered party.
Una get blocked way more than the PNP. Way more.
And there are things that as a registered party we should have and have access to.
I agree.
We have not been given that.
Right. I don't think you guys have been given enough recognition, as a matter of fact. You know, the media.
But that's cool.
The media
that's
definitely has been bought out, in my opinion. Did them do everything for stifling any news about the UIC president, which I saw him get some traction for Nationwide the other day, you know, in his call for, you know, the court case situation, which was good. But outside of that, them really, I don't see them not really talking about the UIC at all.
Well, listen, the UIC has always been a grassroots organization. We'll continue to do that. And persons like myself and you who will share, because you share a balanced view, whether it be PNB or UIC, I share a biased view, strictly UIC.
Hey, we love that.
So
that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Listen, you know, I tell people, Bolo, that I grew up with about 18 years of PNP just after the JLP era ended.
Right.
I remember the latter part of the JLP era when I went to the shop for my parents. I have to buy sanitary napkins to get bread.
Yeah,
I remember those days.
There. Lord God.
And I remember the PNP era, right? Where things seemed to have transitioned and then it went back to zero and everybody lost almost everything. And now the JLP era,
put context
where we lost the rest.
You talk about the FinSac thing?
Yes, man. A lot. When those banks and businesses went under, a lot of people got affected, including myself, my parents, etc. Because they would have lost jobs. My dad, for example, who was a contractor, would have lost jobs.
Right.
Right?
So can we be very very transparent and honest about the Finsack situation? Didn't that situation happen everywhere pretty much?
No. It didn't happen everywhere. It happened a lot of places, but not
Yeah,
everywhere.
a lot of places.
And
So,
that is
but
why the US
the
that is
way
and
sorry, the way how
that
the Finsack argument is
is
being presented to me as somebody that is not so, in the know per se. I would have thought that these people were just destroying people's lives and their intention was outright to make them lose
that,
everything with them have. That how me with the way how me hear people talk about Finsack and the PMP, but I say, yo, them people are evil, brother. They just come
I, so,
for just destroy them people their
hold
life.
on.
But the context of it
Let me
that
show
I have read about is far from that.
let me share something with you. When you commit the act,
Mm-hmm.
even if you do it in ignorance, the effect of your act still
Right,
stands.
right. I agree.
Right? But the PNB didn't act in ignorance. When they dabbled heavily in the local financial market, they knew what they were doing and the risk they were putting the local economy at. You follow? It dried it totally dropped level
So,
despite it.
so,
And they knew that, but and Omar Davis said it. He knows that some things ever good for the country, but he run with it.
so, all right, cool. That is true. So, I'm saying, wasn't it a response to something else? Why they were literally trying to fix something, but yes, them fall short. Can we agree on that?
We cannot. Well, how do I answer this?
That is the
They were
honesty of
trying
the
to fix.
situation. That is the real
Right,
honesty of
hold
the
on, hold on. Let me
situation.
answer. Let me answer. Let me answer. They were yes, they were trying to fix something. They chose the wrong solution because they were driven by other motives
I don't agree
that
about
weren't
the
in the
other
public
motive
interest.
part. I don't agree about the other motive. Them just make a mistake,
All right,
brother.
so you what?
Ignorance.
All right, so no.
Ignorance.
You can't be in government. No, you can't be in government and just make a mistake.
No,
The
of
implication
course.
of your actions
No, I'm
affect.
not agree with that.
No,
No, listen, you should
listen.
not be in government and
Hold
just
on,
make a
hold on.
mistake. You
Hold on,
should not, but
hold
you
on,
can make a mistake.
hold on.
I
No,
agree
no,
that you should
that's why you
not,
have checks and balances, Bolo.
Yeah, I understand what
That's
you're
why you have
saying.
checks and balances.
What
That's
you
why
know?
you have permanent secretaries and that's why you have lawyers.
Yes, but even with all of that, brother, we are talking about human beings.
No,
Literally, we are talking about human beings. You know, would I love to see the UIC in a power.
hold on.
Because what you're saying to me is that you're going to be perfect and you're not going to make any mistakes, even though you have good intention. And I don't think that can be so for anybody at all. That doesn't apply to no human being on earth and no organization. You're going to make mistakes, my brother. Even with the
No, Bolo, you
greatest
and I have to disagree again.
intentions. Where say? Yeah, break up. You know you're in that country.
Was work in Sweden.
Alright, you
Yeah,
just
I was saying I have to
come back.
disagree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
I have to disagree with you on that. But as someone who has worked at that organizational level,
Mm-hmm.
there are layers to decision making. And when you take policy decisions in an incorrect manner, you can't feign ignorance because there are layers of protection. That's why you have the government that has a policy direction, and then the permanent staff, the permanent secretary, and the technical staff, who their job is to look at that decision in the context of treaties and agreements and budgeting, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And your policy decision now has to be refined around those realities.
Mm-hmm.
But when you push a policy point forward because you are being driven by private interest or some other motive other than the national interest, you find yourself in those positions and then you say you made a mistake. No, that's not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
So they will lie to the people because we are less educated about it than them.
Right.
But they can't lie to the UIC because we do our homework.
Right.
So that is the point I'm making. So trust and believe that the UIC understands the decision tree and will make sure that those branches of a decision tree is in place and properly pruned so that a proper decision in the national interest can be made.
Right structure. I trust
Correct.
me. I am first of all, I'm praying for the Lord's will to be done. Where this country is concerned and the politics of it, because leadership is important. So if it's God's will for the UIC to transform this country and push the manifesto that they have in its entirety. Trust me, I agree with a lot, if not all of it. Now, there's one thing that came up recently. Somebody and I was having a conversation that Mr. the President was on Wayne Lonesome and the interview some time ago, and the interview ended bitterly. You understand? I don't know if you're aware of that. I don't know if you're aware, man. Laugh. I don't know if you're aware of that conversation, but
No, I have not seen that interview, admittedly.
okay. So what I heard is this. So this is all allegations, ladies and gentlemen. This is not to put down the UIC because I don't know me feel about the UIC, but as I have the man on here, we have asked him opinion on this. What was said is that and I'm paraphrasing, the UIC president is in agreement with prostitution. And I'm saying I can't see that to be true. Knowing me talking to that man, I don't see that in him for say him would have even say something like that all time on a mouth. No, I am going to dig up the interview, I am going to find it because I'm going to call Wayne Lonesome and say, Wayne, let me get that interview here because I want to know what was said directly. Now, as in your opinion, where you think about something like that if this is even true? What a position they were in take. You agree with something like that? If he took that position, you agree with something like that?
No, the president is a man of wholesome family value, a family man. So I don't see him taking that position. What I know the UIC stands for is the right of an individual to choose, but choose responsibly. That is what I know the UIC stand for.
Context, okay.
Alright?
Yeah.
So I know Joseph L. Patterson supports family values.
Right.
So that much I know.
So,
but
sorry.
But the UIC stands for the right to choose, but acting responsibly.
So it's like you cannot dictate to persons how them supposed to live, basically. You understand? Because you're not God. Not even God not do that. Well, God kind of tell you how to live still, but at the end of the day, there's consequences for your actions. But as a human being, from a human being perspective, hey, it's kind of different.
There you go. So if Jamaicans believe that prostitution should be legal, then that becomes a social responsibility
as the government.
Right. So any individual now who chooses to do that use their freedom to contravene social norms, and of course there are consequences for something like that in there.
Right. Very interesting. So, I'm definitely going to dig up that interview, but I support the UIC. I support anybody outside of JLP right now. Independent. I support democracy. If you are doing a good job in the area where you are running, I am telling the people, vote for you. If this person has a proper plan put in place and structure, you should stand behind those individuals. I am tired of the green and the orange gang type mentality, the die-heartedness. It is a political culture that has destroyed this country, in my opinion, and it has taken many lives. And it needs to stop. It needs to end.
But let me share something with you and your listeners and viewers, Bolo. Most persons are saying, yeah, UIC is great. Some support, and others are waiting to see.
Yeah, it's a lot of wait to see people.
Right. The balance of power in Jamaica doesn't only rest on a UIC right now, next election year, winning all 63 seats. It doesn't. The balance of power rests on us, the UIC, getting enough seats to dilute the majority of the two parties to make sure that the opposition they face is one that is constructive.
Hey, I don't know if I watch all of my videos, them, I pretty much said that the other day, I said I would love to see representatives of the UIC in Parliament arguing on behalf of the Jamaican people. it would be
There you go.
great for the democracy. You
Alright,
understand?
let's drop another one on you before we have the part ways. The law that the Senate affirmed a couple of days ago about support for a child after age 18. Now, I'm not speaking on behalf of the UIC in this instance.
Right.
I'm speaking personally as a father
Right.
of an adult child and two minor. That is the laziest piece of legislation Del Racho could have come up with. And now the UIC will put out its official position. And let me be clear. I'm the spokesperson for justice, national security, and defense. But until the NEC ratifies an official position on it, I won't speak officially on it.
Right.
But it's the latest piece of legislation that Del Racho could have put out. Now, here's the thing about that. A Senate under the UIC would not affirm a law like that. You follow?
Right.
Because the people's voice would have been heard in it. They just went to the Senate with a party line and affirmed the law. Now, imagine if you had a UIC senator in that room, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5.
Exactly.
Imagine if you had a UIC member of parliament on that joint select committee when that law was being written. The difference would have been stark, would have been day to night. And that is the point I'm making. But next time we'll talk about that law when UIC put out his official position on it.
Yeah, man. I think you guys getting a few, positions where you can go in parliament and argue is going to bode very well. Because now they cannot hide you, You're in the international space. The ideas owner put forward and arguments would be scrutinized and looked at globally. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure it would empower you guys to educate, because now the eyes will be on you, So you can educate the people and more on your perspective and the evidence that you have gathered in regards to, the colonial system that we have been under for quite some time. I mean, I'm an advocate for freedom, and whoever has the ability to enact that freedom in government on behalf of the people, I support it.
And that is why they're hurrying to force their fake republic on us, so they can use that as a shackle.
That is it.
You understand? Because what they're calling a republic is not a true republic, right? What they're calling a democracy, if it was a with less than 40% vote, that's a minority government. That election has to be run again because you need a mandate.
Thank you. I agree.
So it's not a democracy. It's just majority rule.
Exactly. I agree.
But they keep lying to us. In some countries, an election with such a low voter turnout has to be rerun because there's not a clear mandate for someone to rule.
Right.
That's why in some countries you have 2 or 3 layers of voting to decide on government. We still have the colonial model. We're lying to the people to say, oh, you're free, oh, you're choosing your government. No, we're not choosing our government. We choose a member of parliament, and he goes to parliament and choose a prime minister from his party in the hopes that he'll get a cushy position. And when choosing that prime minister use the party influence to determine policy with the support of the MPs. And we are held to ransom by those who pay them, those who contribute to the party, where they can keep $50 and $60 million conferences and give out $5,000 and $10,000, and then they go and make decisions in the benefit of those people.
$20,000 too.
Thank you.
Lord have mercy. Why?
The UIC mash up them Dolly House, man. Overturn the apple cart.
Hey,
change representation. Imagine electing your parish senator to go to the Senate to represent you, to look at laws critically. Imagine your member of parliament not being a minister where he can start a business along the line of his ministry and benefit from contracts, but can only spend his time in the community representing you and being paid for that.
Right.
Then on the other hand, you have subject matter experts who, so let's say you're talking about, since I'm on the road, you're talking about roads, because the prime minister said when a road passes useful life, there's nothing you can do, which is a lie. Maintenance affect the life of a road. Right. Design and drainage are two of the biggest things that affect the life of a road, and we don't have those two things.
I tell you, Bridget, what?
So if we have a subject matter expert heading roads and works
Mm-hmm.
and is able to look at our climatology, our geology, and design road, design drainage,
To that
and then
specification.
build. Thank you, and then build roads purpose built for that. Imagine how good our infrastructure would look.
Man,
Instead of
what?
an MP that want to push work, now that an election is coming, you hear, oh, there's gonna be tons of road works,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody is jumping and clapping and yeah.
And then
So far,
allege corruption in siphoning off money in those contracts.
so much so the
Jesus.
poor auditor general can't keep up.
Why me I tell you what? Why it's always a pleasure. Second time me have a conversation and me love the dialogue even when we disagree. Yeah, me love your
That's the
perspective.
UIC way, man.
You understand what I say? Me love your perspective. And trust me, I am definitely rooting for the UIC, Bridget. Rooting for the
Thank you, my
UIC.
brother.
I tell her that. Trust me. You understand? So
And I know you always
yeah,
support
man.
fairness and,
Yeah, man.
and balance.
Yeah, man. For real, man. So we got
You,
anything now.
you
So
seal this
respect
door.
here. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Respect and blessing.
All right, my boss. Respect.
Cool, cool.
All right. Yeah, man. That was powerful, man. That was powerful, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad. I'm glad the brother called in. Hey, God don't make no mistake. Yeah. God don't make no mistake. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, for me, it's about whoever is going to do right by the Jamaican people. And as I've said before, and I've heard the apostle Jeffrey Shuttleworth say, whoever is advancing God's agenda and his will, so let it be in leadership. And that's all I pray. I pray that whoever is advancing God's will in leadership, they shall be put in place to do so. Because once they are in place, you know, God is going, I mean, we don't really have a lot to worry about. Right now, we have a lot to pray about. Because things have to change. You understand? And we can all agree on that. Whether you want to say you support the UIC or you support the PNP, we can all agree that who is in power right now? Yeah, we got to fast and pray, ladies and gentlemen. But we should stay encouraged because the audio that I'm about to play is demonstrating, you know, the certification, the faith, the confidence that you should have in the Creator. Listen to this.
Jeremiah 29 verse 11, God says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." That is a scripture that I hold dear to my heart because God is not a man that he should lie. So if he says he has a plan for me, he does. If he says he has plans to prosper me, he does. I have that much confidence in him to know if he said it, that's just what it is.
A corrupt government cannot liberate the people. If the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also.
As Talk Your Mind TV would I say, bless upon yourself, make we clean up Jamaica, alright? Let me know what you thinking in the comment section about the dialogue and you know, this video's in.